Have you ever witnessed a moment in cricket that becomes the heartbeat of a nation? A performance so monumental that it's talked about for years to come? Today, we're rolling back the clock to such a moment. A masterclass by Shikhar Dhawan. With a stroke of his bat, he didn't just score runs. Against Australia, he made cricketing history by hitting a magnificent 187. But before we revisit Shikhar Dhawan's impressive 187-run game, let's consider what led him to that outstanding performance in Mohali. That day, he created a brilliant innings that was more than just his usual range of shots. It was also a result of his time spent away from the spotlight and a career in first-class cricket that wasn't very remarkable. He had been part of the scene for so long that he had become what you might call a seasoned local player, a term that means he's respected but not a star. The kind of wild behavior that was typical of his youth continued to pop up as he got older. Having an average score in the 40s for most of his career in first-class cricket was sort of his trademark. This made it harder to see the improvements he had made in his last 2 seasons. In those 2 seasons, Dhawan developed the self-control and steady performance needed to get noticed in domestic cricket. In the 18 first-class games he played in India before his first test match, he hit 6 centuries and 5 half-centuries, with an impressive average of 63.90 in the 2012-13 season. Even when Dhawan joined the test team, his story was about being the young World Cup player who didn't keep up with his teammates. He didn't score in his first one-day international game in October 2010 and only made 69 runs in 4 games in the West Indies after the 2011 World Cup. The star of the Under-19 World Cup in Dhaka in 2004 was passed by others like Suresh Raina, Robin Uthappa, Dinesh Karthik, and RP Singh in tests, one-day internationals, and T20 internationals. Dhawan got another chance to play because India really needed to win against the visiting Australian team to make up for losing to England at home 3 months earlier. Australia was down 0-2 in a series of 4 test matches before Mohali. The strategy of using less water on the field and relying on spin bowlers had worked in Chennai and Hyderabad, but India's starting batters had low scores of 11, 16, and 17 in 3 games. Even though there was confusion because of the Homework Gate scandal and a day lost to rain, Australia managed to score 408 runs in their first turn at batting. Their last 3 batters scored 157 runs after their middle-order players were out quickly in 5 overs. On a Mohali field without grass, scoring 400 wasn't huge, but it was still pretty good. Dhawan arrived not just as a substitute for another player from Delhi, but to fill the shoes of the most famous and impactful player from the city, Virender Sehwag. If he had slowly adjusted to his new role, everyone would have been okay with it. But Dhawan, known for his distinctive mustache, unique hairstyle, and many tattoos, made such a grand debut that even the children of famous Bollywood actors would have been jealous. Dhawan stepped onto the field and immediately caught everyone's attention. However, there was an unexpected moment at the start. Just before the lunch break on the 3rd day, India had to bat for 1 over, and Dhawan, who was not batting at the time, accidentally stepped too far from his safe area and could have been out in a rare way called mankading. This happens when the bowler accidentally drops the ball and it hits the wickets before the batsman can get back. The Australian captain, Michael Clarke, jokingly acted like he was asking for a video review, but if the Australians had seriously asked the umpires to check, it's not clear what the decision would have been. We can't be sure if this event and the lunch break made Dhawan more focused. But what we do know is that when he came back, he played with great determination. The importance of the match seemed small compared to the simple rule of batting. Watch the ball and hit it well. Viru, another famous cricketer, would have been impressed. Dhawan's performance led to the quickest century ever scored by a player in their first test match in just 85 balls, and the highest score by an Indian player in their first test match, surpassing G.R. Viswanath's 137 runs against Australia in Kanpur in 1969. Apart from a risky run he took to move from 99 to 100 runs, Dhawan's time at bat was about showing he was in control and that he deserved to be part of the Indian test team. Australia had a strong score to defend, but it was Dhawan's quick scoring that broke their strategy. In just over an hour, during the second part of the game, Dhawan scored 50 runs from 50 balls, overwhelming the Australian team like a sudden heavy rain. Dhawan was confident when he was in control of the play, cutting through the defense like slicing a big cake in front of everyone. When the fast bowlers threw the ball short to his body, he was quick to hit it along the side of the field. He judged the speed of the ball well, and even hit some great shots from the front. The spin bowlers like Nathan Lyon, Xavier Doherty, and Steve Smith started playing early, but Dhawan handled them easily. He moved well, changed the angle of his bat, and played a variety of shots, both traditional and inventive. Dhawan reached his second set of 50 runs in 35 balls and quickly moved from 61 to 91 in just 12 balls. Xavier Doherty was hit for 18 runs in 1 over and didn't bowl again until 20 overs later. A crazy moment happened when Dhawan was on 99 runs. He dived into the batting end to make a run and got an extra 5 runs because the ball was thrown over the boundary. After hitting 100 runs, with 84 of those coming from hitting the ball to the boundary, he started playing more boldly. He hit the ball high into the crowd, knowing exactly when to unleash his aggressive side. After playing for a bit more than 2 hours, his body was moving smoothly, and he was making good decisions. The day, which will be remembered as Dhawan's Day, ended with India scoring 283 runs without losing any wickets at a rate of nearly 5 runs per over. This made Australia's score of 400 seem much less, as India put on a great show in just 2 sessions. Dhawan's innings were generous and skillfully paced, and they put India in a strong position to direct the game for the next 2 days of the Test match and possibly win the series. On the 4th day, he only added 2 more runs, but his performance had a lasting impact. Dhawan might play even better in more challenging conditions and against tougher teams, but the 187 runs he scored will always stand out as his most memorable performance. It's the innings that really showed who he is as a player. It will always be a proud moment for Shikhar Dhawan, like a signature move with his well-known mustache. And that wraps up our deep dive into Shikhar Dhawan's unforgettable 187-run innings against Australia. But what do you think? Was this Dhawan's best performance until now, or is there another innings that stands out to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with more cricket analysis, player insights, and all the action from the pitch. Your support means a lot, and we've got plenty more content coming your way. Until next time, keep enjoying the game.